we got it. We have our very first Copart auction car that needs to be rebuilt. A little bit of damage. It's really not a lot of damage compared to a lot of the other cars I've seen on there. But this thing is going to be my first project. I'm really excited about it. I'm excited to bring you along on the ride. And here we go. So we just got home. We picked it up a few minutes ago. And we're going to go ahead and unload it. I did crank it up while I was in the parking lot at Copart. I went ahead and cranked it up. And so I know that works, but the radiator is totally smashed, no water in it. So I'm going to drive it off, but not very long. So I'll let it run for 30 seconds or a minute, and but not do more than that because I don't want it to overheat. Alright, so just a quick change in plans. It has a battery, it works, but just now trying to start it, as soon as I hit the starter, it lost battery power and shut the whole car down. So we're going to jump it off real quick. That shouldn't be any problem. It did start 30 minutes ago at the Copart lot, but we're going to jump it off real quick and then drive it off. Success! Alright, let's take you for a quick look under the hood, see what we got. So from our first inspection, and this is pretty much what we saw in the pictures, it had a very serious front impact. Close the hood a little bit. You can see it definitely took a hard hit right in the front, but I was looking at this front bumper support and it appears to be fairly straight. So the straight front bumper support, that typically means that, or what I'm hoping it'll mean, is that the frame rails are turning out pretty straight and everything else about the car should go pretty smooth. Now I did notice that this driver's side fender is definitely shifted backwards just a little bit, so I'm not sure how that impacts what the frame is doing or anything on the subframe, but we should be able to pull that back out a little bit and make everything work good. Currently it's just a little tight right here to where it's almost touching the door, and the door squeaks when you open it. So no major problems right there yet, but we'll see what that turns into. Alright, moving the hood up, you can see the impact points on these main support bars. So there's probably some sort of a bar. I'm kind of thinking the back end of an 18-wheeler truck. Probably the car's fallen a little bit too close and ran into that because it's fairly even spread across. Hit this bar, the center, and over here, all right in that same spot. And you can see where it actually scratched it. The radiator has been up, and the car, when you start it, it has a no water sign on the dashboard immediately. So it definitely doesn't have any water in it, and it's making a little bit of a ticking sound, but I'm thinking that's all from the front accessory belt. So overall, my plan of attack is to start taking parts off until we get to what's good and what's bad, and then I'll hit the local junkyards and we'll see what parts I can scavenge there and put back into this car and make it run again. So I can see that the previous owner was definitely a car enthusiast. He has the bright blue colored spark plug wires, so that's always a good sign. That means he probably took good care of the car. And then I also see an auxiliary wire for a radio or something. I don't know what it goes to yet, but one of those auxiliary wires taps straight onto the battery with a big fuse beside it. So we'll take a look and see where that routes to. I don't know yet. I didn't see any subwoofers or anything like that in the car, so we'll see what it goes to, and we'll go from there. But so far the car is exactly what I was expecting. Alright, so taking a look inside the car, everything looks fairly clean. The bumper, the front bumper, is inside the car. That's a good way to transport it when it doesn't have any screws holding it on. As you can see, the stereo is missing entirely. It has all the wires. Oh, I can see wired jumpers. So you definitely had an aftermarket stereo in this at one point. And I'm sure when he wrecked the car that he decided to pull that out. So at Copart, their typical thing is some zip ties with the keys on them. So I got one set of keys, and that's nice. And right now the battery's still working, so I have all my lights or whatever I'd like to do with that. The airbag is not deployed, or does not exist, one or the other. So no airbags deployed on either side. Anything around the tops or bottom. And I just found a treat. Under the passenger seat, there are all the wires. So you have the main power wire that we saw under the hood. It was right here under the seat. And obviously a main ground, but that would go to the chassis someplace. So there was definitely an amp or something like that in this area. We'll chase those wires and probably just get them out. This beautiful Subaru decal. Yeah, that's nice. Some Oracle 651 for you. Yeah, so I'll definitely need to polish that up. On the top, I just noticed this. Maybe there was a rack on it at some point. Yeah, you can see the spots of dirt right there. So there's definitely some sort of a roof rack, maybe for snowboards or bicycles. Something to that effect. Yeah, you can definitely see where the pads for some sort of a rack was. Then moving to the back, my friend just found exactly what I was looking for. The factory head unit. Now, based on the wires that I see in the dashboard, this is probably not what was installed in the car for a while, but it came with the car. So we'll plug that in and see if we can make that work. Also back here were these pieces. Now, I didn't notice any interior trim missing, so I was trying to figure out what that went to. And then I figured it out. So this would be the other side, but this appears to be a replacement part with some little tweeter speakers inside. So that's a nice little upgrade. It blended in so nice I didn't even notice it was aftermarket. It looks really good in there. Other extras include this brand new screwdriver. I've always wanted another flat blade screwdriver / pry bar. And the label from a 50-piece socket and tool set. He probably thought he could fix it. So checking out under there, I do have the factory spare, it looks like, with all the tools that go with it. So walking around the car, I don't know if any of the other damage is related, but there is definitely some scuffing, some marks all around the car, and that might just be regular wear and tear. So as someone's using the car, loading stuff in the back, that kind of thing happens. The interior is really nice in this car. So I'm very happy about that. They definitely took care of it. They like this thing. That's a good thing for me. Let me know your thoughts on these handles. So these handles are just the basic plastic handles, but they're not body color. I'm used to handles being body color, and frankly a little bit nicer than that. What do you think I should do? Should I paint them? Maybe paint them back to black or body color? I'm definitely going to be painting a good bit of the car. Or should I get replacement black ones from Subaru? Maybe I'll do that. I don't know. Leave your comments below. Yeah, you heard that nice crick. The front door is definitely hitting that front fender. But inside, all the gauges appear to work. It has around 130,000 miles on it. It's a 2008. Let's see if I can pull these out a little bit. Yeah, so this is typical for an aftermarket stereo system. What this will be is the white plug there was the factory Subaru plug, and then this jumper plug went to whatever head unit they had installed in it. So I could go aftermarket and use that plug. I have to figure out what system that goes with, or I might plug it back into Subaru factory stuff. I'll see if the factory head unit works back there. I'll probably plug it back in, and a couple of screws. Alright, thanks for following along this far. Please subscribe to this build channel below and hit that bell icon for notifications. Anytime I release a new video, you'll be the first to know.